Our job was to put it on the agenda, the year program for tournaments in South Africa. And yes, we did that, and it was approved. And from there on, Sabelo were working hard and kept us going and informed so that we can support him.
Challenges that we have or ambitions that we have as tennis in Mpumalanga on what you want to see happening for the growth of the sport in the province?
I would start with the infrastructure. We would like to have a stadium where we can host a big tournament. We've got the best weather, according to me, in South Africa currently, and the view here is 100%. But for us to grow into a big tournament, the facilities will have to be upgraded. Simple as that. We need to have money to upgrade the facilities. For example, if we want to play 128 draw next year, we will have to have at least in the vicinity of 16 courts to do it over a 5-day period. That's going to be challenging. Everything there and even with the ladies also to have them
developing talent, nurturing talent. How is that going?
It's also a situation in regard to finances, but at this stage our program, the Mpumalanga Development Program, it's on course.
Tell us about you and your love for the sport that made you to be where you are today organizing such.
Well, thank you so much. I don't know, I was speaking to someone yesterday saying, maybe at some point I can write a book about how I started. But I started being involved and playing tennis 32 years ago. At this stage, I am a coach. I run an academy called Tennis Base. We're here in Mbombela, in Barberton, in Manzana, and those are the areas where we operate. But also I'm a national coach. I work with the national team for under 16s of the national team, and so that's how far I go in terms of my involvement in tennis. And I believe that as a province, we still have so much to work on to try and catch up with our other provinces and elsewhere around the world.
Mkholo, 5 days. It has to be one of challenging events to organize.
It has been a journey, one which I am proud of, not only myself but everyone that I work with, who made this tournament possible. Remember, it is a collaboration between myself or the Academy Tennis Base and Mpumalanga Tennis, and also Tennis South Africa. And the entries came slowly up to the point where we're so excited and amazed that how can you reach 192 players, in a very short space of time.
How did you manage to eventually reach that target that you wanted for the tournament?
Well, it's a collaboration of key stakeholders like Tennis South Africa and the club here at Nelspruit Tennis Club, but also here in Mpumalanga. We tried by all means to to promote the event, and we through our networks we also engaged other players in countries like Mozambique, Lesotho, Eswatini, and Zimbabwe, and so we are so much grateful that we're able to pull it off.
My main focus, the youngsters, young, up and coming. How are you managing? How did you manage that talent, and how are you managing it to make sure that it doesn't fall off along the way? We see it growing to a stage whereby they become people that represents the country in major tournaments.
Well, I can only speak for our province because tennis, it's I mean, when you play events like this, it's not like a team sport, but it's an individual sport, and hence every player has his or her coach, and but in our province we were actually running a development program, and that is why in townships and rural areas, in my role as a development officer in the province, we do have tennis hubs, and I'm happy that we had a few of those players participating, in the main event, the Mbombela Open, but also in the junior events, which is something we're happy about, and we believe that we can only grow from here as a province.
Let's reminisce 2002. Davis Cup here in Nelspruit.
Well, it was on this, it was this, same tennis courts where I was a court warden. I was still young at that stage. I remember very well. We had John Lafney Diache, we had Wayne Ferreira, we have other great players. Who set the stage for us, especially me, to be involved at that stage when South Africa played Yugoslavia. It was my first time, being involved in such an event, and so I believe that my passion comes from there. And I believe that as the city of Mbombela, as the province, I think we can be able to host such big events. And so this is a start. When we go for the next one next year, I believe we will be cracking the ground and trying to make sure that we up our game, fix a few things that we need to work on. Because as far as I'm concerned, as a tournament director, I took time and learned a few things out of the tournament, and I believe that going next year, we want to break records, and I believe that we'll be able to achieve that.